Well, I am finally back home, and following me here, you'll see the final video of my trip. So, what you'll see is something that probably most people should not do. I did drive 1,449 miles on this leg all at once. I drank a lot of coffee. I took several 20-minute naps in the car, which were very helpful. Whenever I felt tired, I just pulled over to a rest stop. But anyway, I made it home. I made it home when I needed to, and that was good. I don't recommend that for a lot of people. The drive itself was 6,400 miles. And I think at the end of this, I'll show you the trips in the car. I think I'm right, 6,400. And I visited 15 states. I went from a low elevation of minus approximately 300 feet below sea level to about 8,000 feet above sea level. By the way, in a short distance, which is also kind of very interesting. And I took 16 days to do this. I was met in Las Vegas by my family, at least a chunk of my family, not all of them. And we went from there through Yosemite. I left them in Yosemite, and they went on to San Francisco, and I went on to Route 66. So, all in all, a very good trip. I'll do a separate video on the Tesla, on FSD, on what worked, what didn't work so well, and give that to you on this channel. I did not post pictures at all of any of the national parks or any of the things because I didn't. This is not the channel for that. This is about the Tesla, but I might throw up a bunch of photos in about a week or so for you to take a look at because it was pretty interesting. So thank you for watching and following all of my trip down out in the west of the United States. I hope you enjoy what you saw. I hope there's something for everybody there. And I'll be back now. I just downloaded into the car 12.5.4. I think it's dot 4. It could be dot 1. So I've got that, which includes the new Summon feature, which is got an interesting set of initials that go with it. Good morning from Gallup, New Mexico. Heading right now just to Milan, New Mexico, which is only about 5 to 10 miles away, to charge. Something I didn't expect. 47 degrees this morning. So here I am with my shorts on. So I'll have to make some wardrobe adjustments. I don't know how far I'm going to get today. I'm going to go through New Mexico, touch Texas on the top, head up to Oklahoma, and Missouri, and I'd love to get to somewhere around St. Louis, Missouri today, but I think that's unlikely, but I'm going to try very hard to do that. I actually can't remember what I showed you last night when I got here in Gallup, anyway, we are approaching 5,000 total miles for this trip. I thought it was going to, originally I had estimated it to be right around 5,300. So let's see if that's what happens. So here we go. I'll see you really shortly.
Me again. I should tell you, let me put a light on here. It didn't help. I should tell you, I'm at 7,300 feet here in Gallup. So I think that's one reason for the very cold temperature this morning. Well, I am leaving from charging. I'll keep it on here because there's nothing else you could see. We have not yet had sunrise. I'm heading to Albuquerque. You can see here the temperature is now 44 degrees where I am. And I lied this morning. I told you I was in Gallup. I was in Grants, New Mexico overnight. And I'm now thinking I cannot make St. Louis at all today, but I am going to give it my best try. As we get a little bit closer to Albuquerque, how's that for a morning sunrise? The sun is not quite there yet, but isn't that beautiful? Let me give you an update here as we head into Albuquerque. You can see here a bit of what the terrain looks like. We've come downhill slightly, and as a result, our temperature is now 51 degrees. I am not using FSD again, and the ride is going very well. Autopilot Beta seems to be doing a very good job, and I don't get quite as frustrated anymore with some of the things that FSD did. So we'll switch back to FSD soon. Anyway, all is going well, and we are 31 miles away from our exit in Albuquerque to charge it up. Here we are at Albuquerque. We've arrived with 19%, it says 20, but I just started charging. This is finally a 250 watt charger, so I like that. This leg of the trip was 85 miles, 262 watt hours per mile. I actually think that's really good, considering the temperature and everything. We have hit 4,700 miles on this trip, as you can see right there. And we're still under 250, which I want to be. And our return home visit is at 1,270 miles. I'm going to get breakfast, and our next stop is going to be Santa Rosa, New Mexico. By the way, again, traveling without FSD. It was a pleasant drive, no issues at all. This was a nice leg again. So we'll see as we continue on our journey. It looks like I have about 20 minutes left here. There were hot air balloons everywhere this morning in Albuquerque. I think they just had a festival or something. The sunrise was beautiful. It really is. There's not a cloud in the sky right now at 58 degrees. And I think Albuquerque is one of the highest in elevation cities in the United States. I can't remember the exact number, but anyway. So we will be leaving Albuquerque and heading to Santa Rosa, New Mexico. Well, hello again as we leave Albuquerque. Now, what had happened is we had projected to go to Tecumcloma, New Mexico, and it said we would arrive with something like 21%. That quickly went down below 10%, and so now we're going to Santa Rosa, which we knew all the while that we were going to go to Santa Rosa. So I just to all of you, I would say, You have to really, really watch, know your car, and know the terrain you're about to drive on before just taking the Tesla algorithm for how far you could go. Because at least on this trip, it's almost always been very incorrect, by the way. So anyway, we are moving forward, and currently just under 100 miles from our exit. We are coming into Santa Rosa. Right now we are at 15%, projected to be at 13% when we arrive in 3.1 miles. The drive has been fine, not any issues at all. It's been relatively smooth. A lot of trucks on the road for a Sunday. Today is Sunday morning. There's not a cloud in the sky, and the temperature is already 72. And it would appear, though I haven't seen an elevation sign, that we've been coming slightly downhill for a chunk of this drive. So again, I don't know quite how that's been going. So Santa Rosa, New Mexico, we are here, and I'll give you the specifics shortly. When I make this right turn, we will be together on Route 66. There you go. Welcome. All right, let's see what we got at Santa Rosa. We've arrived with 13%, and our trips are, the last one was 115 miles, 249 kilowatt hours, watt hours per mile, I'm sorry. Death Valley, our total trip is 4816. It won't be long. We'll cross 5,000 miles, just about 1,400 miles on the way home. Next stop looks like Amarillo, Texas. And so that will take a little while to charge up. It looks like a half hour, which is a lot. Anyway, let's see what happens. I've noticed through much of this trip out west how many of the superchargers are 150 kilowatt. It's surprising to me. So it could be because they were the first ones installed. I don't know. But anyway, this is another one, and the next one I'm going to, which instead of Amarillo, I'm going to do one more in New Mexico, so I don't have to stay here quite as long. They're 150. I only have a few minutes remaining here. It has become very windy, so I don't know if the wind's going to play a part in the next leg of the trip we're about to take. It is now 73 degrees, clear, and as I said, I can't show you anything here, but it's very, very windy outside. I have cleaned the windshield for you as we are en route to Tucumcari, New Mexico. And you could see out each side, it just continues to be wide open land. I'm actually not really thrilled about going back to a lot of population. Here comes Tucumcari. The battery is preconditioning right now. Looks like we're going to end around 20% state of charge when we get there. And right now, here's a look at the terrain. We've been mostly going up and down hills, but I'd say for the most part we've been going slightly down. So elevation-wise, that should have helped us just a little bit here in eastern New Mexico. And this will be our last stop, by the way, in New Mexico before we head to state number 13 on this trip, which is Texas. So things going good? Yes. No FSD for me again. I will turn it back on soon. I'm not sure when soon is, because this is just going really well. And how long can I drive today is really the question. I started this morning around 5:30 Mountain Time. I'm going to end somewhere in Central Time, and I had anticipated, of course, double-digit driving hours today. We'll see. I am now 2.2 miles from our exit, so I will see you in Tucumcari Supercharger. Well, this is another Holiday Inn. That's 2 in a row that the Chargers are at. We are at Tucumcari. We arrived with 21%. And let's look at our trip. That was only 56 miles, which I knew. 46 minutes. Almost 300 watt hours per mile. Of course, that's a lot. By the way, the temperature is 73. We're at 4,872 miles and 1,400 on the way home miles. And I really need to figure this out, but I do know that the wind, remember I told you it was windy, cost 6% on that trip. So, of course, that is a lot. Climate was under by almost 1%. Battery conditioning was almost a 2% hit. So how long we're going to be here? It says 30 minutes. Our next stop is, are you ready? Oh, I didn't put it in. I need to put it in. All right, YouTubers, we are on the road to Amarillo, Texas. It's around 100 miles or so. Current temperature 75 degrees. Still really windy. It did affect us on the last leg, so this one, the estimate state of charge is 24%, so it's already come down from the 25 when I left. Anyway, at 24% in Amarillo, and I will probably have lunch there today. So I'll show you one or two things on the way. We just passed a skunk. Yep. Anyway, you could see we have lots more traffic with us. Well, continuing on to Amarillo, I did get range anxiety for a while. My Amarillo state of charge dropped down to 10% from somewhere in the mid-20s. Now it's kind of moderated back up closer to 20%. And again, the wind is an issue because it's actually blowing directly at me right now. So we are moving towards Amarillo, and you could see the current terrain look outside. We're right around 70 miles away. Well, actually 64. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are leaving New Mexico and just crossed the Texas state line. Welcome to State 13 on our trip. Well, everybody, we arrived with 7%. I've been charging my camera, also was out of battery. Anyway, we arrived with 7% at Amarillo, Texas. Again at a Holiday Inn, 3 in a row. And let's look at our trips. So that one was 253 watt hours per mile, 108 miles. We're now just gonna cross 5,000 miles very shortly. And on the way home, 1550. So we are certainly on the way. here, and our next stop is going to be Shamrock, Texas. This is 98 miles away, and it should take an hour and 41 minutes. See you again. Well, we are on the way to Shamrock. Yes, the terrain is similar than it's been the trip. And there's the wind farm, another wind farm way out there. Currently 61 miles from our exit. And we're expected to be there at 4 p.m. Central Time. And right now I'm planning to drive a long time today. I just left a traffic situation in Amarillo that cost me a tremendous amount of time. Hello, I am in Shamrock, Texas. I arrived with 23%. This was really a good drive. Let me show you here how consistent the drive was. So you can see we're out of the mountains, which seems to be helping the drives immensely. Also, great watt hours per mile of 204. So that's also very good to see. How are the trips doing? So that trip was exactly 100 miles, an hour and a half, and energy was under 250. As you know, that's what I look for. I've crossed the 5,000 mile plateau, so 50-80 for this trip. Wow, total energy 1,200 kilowatt hours. And on our return home, we are at 1,600. So where are we going next? We are going to cross over into good old Oklahoma. We're going to Weatherford, Oklahoma, and I am on purpose really trying to just do 1.5 to 2 hours at a time based on what I think the trip is I have in front of me. So I will show you some Oklahoma shortly. Here we are at Weatherford, Oklahoma. We arrived with 12%. Next stop is Tulsa, Oklahoma. You could see we were fairly flat. There were some more ups and downs than there were in the last leg. We went 100 miles, an hour and a half. We're at 5179 total miles for our trip and 1,700 for the return trip. So I'm going to rest the camera and the microphones here and be back to you later. Hello again on our way to Oklahoma City. I know you won't be able to see much more of the landscape because it's getting dark quickly. So where we are is we are 20 miles from a supercharger in Oklahoma City. I just had a cup of coffee. I'm actually feeling pretty good now. And the stop after that will be in Missouri, our first stop in Missouri. I don't remember the name of the town. It could be Joplin. And then I'm going to keep going until the minute I feel tired, I'm done for tonight. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I have my state of charge should be around 35% or so when I get there, which is great. And I will see you next time when we get to Oklahoma City. All right, we're in Oklahoma City with 36%. And so that trip was only 60 miles. But that was okay. I was all right with that. 244 watt hours per mile. You could see the distance is 5,200 and 1,800. The next stop will be Catoosa, Oklahoma, which is 126 miles away. So I'll be here about 20 minutes. We are in Tulsa, Oklahoma at a 250 kilowatt charger. This says I have 20 minutes remaining for my next stop, which we'll check in a second. How did we do? We went 113 miles, just under 2 hours, 235 watt hours a mile. That was great. And we are now at 5,352 miles on this little excursion, and just about 2,000 miles for our trip home. Where are we going? We are heading to Joplin, Missouri. So that will be state 15. I did count them. So state 15. And we're going to be here a little while. It looks like, 20 minutes. It is currently 78 degrees and it's 9:37 p.m. Hello from Joplin, Missouri. Let's see. First of all, I'll tell you the temperature is below 60 degrees. It is midnight. Let's look at our trip. And we just drove 116 miles in just under 2 hours. 269 watt hours per mile, which is okay. We're now at 5,469 miles total on our trip, and just over 2,000 miles on the way home. Well, I wanted to give you a little peek here at how we're doing. You can see that we're traveling pretty even, which is great news. I'm expected to arrive in Springfield with about 25% state of charge, and I will take a nap there. We are at Buc-ee's in Springfield, Missouri. We have arrived with 22%, much less than the 42% that was projected when we left. How did we do? Well, we drove only 79 miles, an hour and 15 minutes. Average energy was 292, so that's up. Trip is at 5,500, and the return home trip is 2,100. Where are we going next? It looks like we are going to be heading to Fenton, Missouri. I'm going to take a nap and see you later. Well, I had a refreshing little nap. Not much, but just a little. I'm just about ready to go here. For some reason, I'm at 89%, so I guess that nap went a little bit longer than I thought. I should be ready to go. And well, nap time is over. Trying to get under the light here. Anyway, nap time is over. And so I'm pretty much ready to leave Springfield, heading to Rolla, Missouri. And so that will be my next stop, Rolla, Missouri. And I just want to show you these new chargers. They look awesome, the new Tesla chargers here at Buc-ee's. So let's show it to you. So what do you think? Look at these. Aren't they kind of neat? Let's see if I could show you how to take it off. So here's what it looks like. There's a little bit of a light here, and it goes in there and it locks in place. So it's kind of neat. Welcome to Rolla, Missouri. We arrived 21%. Smooth, good ride, no issues at all. Let's look at the numbers. We go to trips. And it was 102 miles at 1.5 hours. And we're currently at 5,600 miles and 2220 on our return. Okay, we are in St. Louis, Missouri at what I can only call a strange location. It's a warehouse. There's nothing behind it except nothing. There's nothing. Anyway, I arrived with 27%. I'm already up to 29. Trip-wise, how are we doing? And the answer is that was 104 miles, an hour and 40 minutes, 270 watt hours per mile, kind of sort of okay. 5,755 miles so far in total, which is good. And 2324 miles since I began my return trip. Where am I going next? Next, I'm going to Illinois. So we're going to cross the Mississippi, and I'm going to go to Mount Vernon, Illinois, which is only 80 miles. Huh. All right, we are leaving St. Louis. The sun is starting to come up. And let's see if we can see the famous arch out there. I'm sure we can. But I need to concentrate on the road. The arch is over there somewhere. Let's see if we can get it. There it is. As we say goodbye to St. Louis, Missouri, and we are crossing the Mississippi River. Hello, Mount Vernon, Illinois. We arrived, we had 15%, now it's 16. It's a 150 kilowatt charger, currently at 145. And the trips, that one was only 82 miles, an hour, less than an hour and a half, 288 watt hours, and we will soon be at 6,000 miles for our trip, and soon be at 2,500 there. Next stop will be in Indiana, in Hobstadt, Indiana. And that is 82 miles away. Well, since the sun's up, I thought I'd show you a bit of Illinois. We had all kinds of farmland over there I was going to show you. You could see it on here. Anyway, this is Illinois. Nice big green trees, green grass, blue skies, a little bit cool. It's almost half the temperature from Death Valley. Anyway, we're getting there. We are in Hobstadt, Indiana. We arrived at 23%. It's a 250 kilowatt charger, so it's already up to 162, I see. That's nice. Maybe to be a little bit quick, 160, it's down to 150s already. Anyway, let's see this trip. Oh, I had it up. So that was only 82 miles, an hour and 14 minutes, 291 kilowatt or watt hours per mile. A little bit high. The weather is cool this morning. 64 now, however, so it's warming up nicely. Trip is at 5919, so we will hit 6,000 miles. And the return trip is just about to hit 2,500 miles. We have one more stop, and that is going to be in Louisville, Kentucky. And after Louisville, we will go home. And I'll give you a summary. I can't remember if I told you because it was dark. Anyway, we hit state 15, which was Missouri. So on this trip on the lower 48, we have seen 15 of the 48 states. So the next stop will be in the state of Kentucky, in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. We are in Kentucky. There's the Ohio River, if you can see it. And so we have entered the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and just about to get to Louisville, where we're going to stop and give you some statistics. This is our last scheduled charging stop. So we got here actually with 21%. Took me a few seconds to get this up and running. And by the way, the charging station in Louisville is off of I-64 by a good distance on I-264, and 150 kilowatt. Not great, but anyway, it's charging the car. So let's see here. Let's go to trips, and that trip was 116 miles, an hour and 45 minutes, 264 watt hours per mile. That's okay. Our trip has gone over 6,000 miles. Hey, 6,036 miles. And the trip home is 2605. And we will end this trip in my garage, where I'll give you the final numbers in about an hour. By the way, it is sunny and pleasant at 67 degrees. So again, it's some 40 degrees lower than Death Valley. What do you think? What a long trip this was. I'll give you more details. You get a view there. If it's bright enough, you could see what's over on the right hand side. On the right is the racetrack at this horse farm. Well, guys, this is it. We are on the absolute last leg of this trip. We are getting ready to park and give you some statistics. Also, I'll do a summary of the, not the whole trip per se, but more about the good things that happened and the things that weren't so good that happened. For anybody that's thinking of taking a trip, whether it be a couple of days or, like in my case, a couple of weeks. So I'll put it up to the horse farm here and then close until we get in the garage. We have made it into our garage. So we have driven through 15 states, a couple twice, 15 states, 5 national parks, 6,104 miles round trip. And the last trip, the one we just took, was only 70 miles, took just over an hour, and our energy was 239 watt hours per mile, and we did really good. So energy efficiency was really well on this. Thank you guys for joining with me on this trip. And now it's time to put some videos together, get them up, and then talk about our summary as a separate video. Thanks to everybody who joined along on this 16-day journey. Thank you.